Chapter 3, Mishnah 8. Having taught that the successful performance of a mitzvah can depend upon a person's intent, the Mishnah discusses two historic events in which the correct intent was crucial. The Torah states regarding the battle of the Jewish people against Amalek, and it was when Moshe raised his hand that Israel was stronger, and when he lowered his hand, Amalek was stronger. Exodus chapter 17, verse 11. During the battle, Moshe raised his hands toward heaven in prayer. As long as his hands were raised, the Jews prevailed, but when he lowered them, Amalek prevailed. The Mishnah asks, did the position of Moshe's hands make or break their success in battle? Certainly not. Rather, the verse means to tell you that as long as Israel were looking upward and subjugating their hearts to the service of their Father in heaven, they prevailed. But when they did not do so, they fell. Moshe raised his hands to signal the people that they should all pray together. Therefore, specifically at those times, in response to Israel's prayer, God strengthened them and helped them to prevail over the enemy. The Mishnah explains another verse in a similar way. Toward the end of the 40 years of wandering in the wilderness, Jews complained against God and Moshe for taking them out of Egypt and giving them only manna to eat. After God sent snakes to attack them, they admitted their sin and asked Moshe to pray on their behalf. The Mishnah discusses God's response. You can say something similar about this verse. God said to Moshe, make for yourself a fiery snake and place it on a pole, and it will be that all who are bitten will look at it and live. Numbers chapter 21, verse 8. The Mishnah asks, does looking at a snake cause death or life? Certainly not. Rather, the verse teaches that as long as Israel were looking upward and subjugating their hearts to the service of their Father in heaven, they were healed. But when they did not do so, they withered away. The snake served as a signal to the Jews to pray together. Only when they focused their attention on the snake and heeded its message were they healed. The Mishnah now returns to halachic matters. It is clear from the previous Mishnah that when one person blows the shofar, others could fulfill the mitzvah by listening to his blowing, as long as they had the necessary intent. Thus, we see that it is possible for one person to do a mitzvah on behalf of others. However, not everyone is capable of doing so. A deaf person, a deranged person, and a minor cannot cause the public to fulfill their obligation. Since these people are not obligated to do mitzvahs, their performance of a mitzvah is not effective for others. This is the rule. Whoever is not obligated to do a mitzvah cannot cause the public to fulfill their obligation to do that mitzvah.